Hey there, Michael McBride here to share with you about your growth action plan. This is a 360-degree self-development structure that is dedicated to helping you achieve the things that are most important to you. It's a simple Google form, and what I'd like to do right now is just walk you through the various components to give you an overview of what we're doing. So first of all, it's called a growth action plan. I like my acronyms. Took me a while to figure this one out. So that stands for GAP. And it's really stemming from this idea that for most of us, we have these things that we want in our lives that right now we don't currently have or we are not currently. And there is a gap between that thing that you want and the place that you're in right now. And what this is all about is taking daily actions in a specific sequence to help you narrow that gap between those two places. I've discovered that in the many, many years that I've been working on my own self-development, that there's a particular sequence that if you follow, things tend to fall into place a little bit more easily. And actually, if you get them out of sequence, then the achievement doesn't happen quite as rapidly or doesn't stick as long. So that's why I have taken these various aspects of self-development and put them in 3 different levels. And I want to say just right off the bat that every single one of these actions is voluntary. It's optional. Everything in our lives is optional. I mean, you didn't have to wake up and get out of bed today. You don't have to go to work. You don't have to feed yourself breakfast. But we do these things because we know that that's going to help us to accomplish a specific goal. Maybe like buying food or paying for gas in your car. Those are things that you want. So as we walk through these different actions, I will specifically share with you the kinds of results that you can expect if you take these actions. So we start with this simple Google form, and if you've not already stored the link of this Google form on your phone, on your home screen, go ahead and do that. It looks beautiful in a mobile version as well. So you start by just putting your name, and then there's a section where you can write one or more gaps that you are currently working to narrow. I've given some examples here to jog your memory. For this section, that could be something, it could be the same every single day. If you're working on that, if you're focusing on it, it could change every single day. It's really whatever you are most present to. Let's walk through these various levels one step at a time. First of all, level 1 has to deal with our physical self, our physical body. I found that if we are in good physical shape, then we have a lot more mental clarity, and it's something that's very tangible. You can see your body is shaped differently, or there's a different number on the scale, or you can put a different piece of clothing on. Because some of these other kinds of achievement that are more about leadership and emotional health are very intangible, and it's hard to measure those. So if you anchor yourself with your physical accomplishments, you can look in the mirror and see, yes, I am making progress. So it stems from, first of all, drinking your superfood smoothie to make sure that you have the correct nutrition. Of course, following the rest of your eating plan that comes with your program, engaging in your workout. I do count rest days that are scheduled as part of your workout. That's very important. And then checking in with your accountability group in whatever format that's in at this moment. If it's a group message thread, if it's a standalone app through my challenge tracker, just checking in for accountability. If you accomplish all of these activities in level 1, then you have completed or achieved level 1. And as you practice these consistently over time, you will notice that the gaps that you'll be narrowing are in fitness, in health, the confidence that comes from those kinds of achievement. And with every single one of these levels, there's a business component, which is why as you've signed on with the coach account with Beachbody, then you can enjoy the 25% discount on any products that you choose to buy through Beachbody. For example, a lot of the stuff that I would have normally gotten through other stores like Vitamin Shop or GNC, like pre-workouts, extra protein bars, things like that, I just get through Beachbody and use the 25% discount. It's shipped directly to my place, and it's a lot cheaper and more convenient that way. So that is level 1. Level 2 builds on level 1. So for example, you have to complete all of the activities in level 1 to be able to achieve level 2. This is where we get into the emotional and social component of our self-development. The first is through personal development, and you'll see I will provide a link to you through our website that will lead you to a library of personal development resources that I have been culling over the years, and I invite you to add to that as you discover resources that you love. Personal development is really about developing our mindset. And it can be in a lot of different areas. It can be in learning more about nutrition. It can be about confidence. It can be about public speaking. It can be about leadership. It can be about communication, listening skills, personality styles. There are so many different aspects of developing your mindset that you can engage in. So I encourage you to take a look at the personal development library that we've developed and select something that's most important for you. The next part is great journaling, which is a form of gratitude journaling that I created, and it has been one of the most transformational experiences that I've had. The next part is learning how to share some of your GAP activities, either what you're doing, sharing what you're learning, or sharing results of those activities. And it can be anything in this list. And that would be sharing in a public forum, either face-to-face with somebody in real life, or it can be sharing on social media. And I will provide specific training about how to share these things on social media so that they are from the perspective of inspiration rather than kind of gloating or talking about how amazing you are, which you're amazing, of course, but nobody else wants to hear that. There's a secret there. And then the final part is returning messages. What inevitably happens as you are sharing yourself authentically, both your ups and your downs, is that people may start to reach out to you and ask you, what are you doing? How did you look great. You have energy. I really loved that quote that you shared from that book. Tell me more about this book. So people are going to start reaching out to you, and it's important that you stay up on returning their messages. What can happen as you're engaging in these conversations that people start with you is that they might want some of these things for themselves. And if you can have in that conversation a way to help connect them with the tools that you're connected with, i.e. a Beachbody program to start with level 1 and then plug them into the rest of the system, then Beachbody will pay you a 25% minimum commission of whatever product that person buys through you. So this is where there's an opportunity for you to earn some income. Now, at this level, it's still very passive. You're not knocking on doors and telling people to buy your thing. You're not calling up your friends and family and roping them into something you're doing. You're really living your life, living as authentically as possible, and just sharing the things that you're doing to make your life better. And if somebody resonates along those same wavelengths and wants to do them as well, fantastic. We'll plug them in and we'll support them as well, and you'll be able to benefit financially from that. So that's level 2. Level 3 is where we start to flip into greater social impact and leadership, as well as the potential for earning a lot more money. So our first thing to acknowledge is level 3 builds on levels 1 and 2. The new activities are, first of all, expanding your network in your niche, and there will be some specific training about how to grow your Facebook or your Instagram or Snapchat or whatever is important to you. I'll share some techniques that I have used to grow my following from zero. Of course, we all start at zero, but I had many, many years of, maybe 2 people liking a picture, very little engagement, all the way to growing my following to over 20,000 as of, what are we, in June of 2016. So I'll share with you how to develop your social media in that way as well. And not just so that you can feel good and popular, but so that you can be impacting so many more lives. You have no idea the kinds of ripples that you can cause in the world. In fact, you're probably watching this video because I've been doing these things and that attracted you to want to do them as well. And now I'm training you how to make that impact with your circle. The next part is connecting with 2 to 5 people. And that is really kind of reaching outside of our normal flow of life and just asking somebody how their day is going, telling them how much you enjoy following them on social media, or wishing them a happy birthday in a creative way. And I'll provide some specific training about that. This really brightens other people's day, and it makes you stand out because nobody does this. It's weird. It's not normal. And you're going to stand out as a leader and as a thought leader. The next part is business development, listening to the National Wake-Up Call and engaging within the business development library that you'll have access to as well. What happens as you start to grow your network, more conversations are coming in, you may be making more money, and it's important to engage that in a very smart way, which is why I am including business development. And then the final piece is a leadership piece, and that's all about recognizing the achievement of those around you. We acknowledge that no person is an island. Our successes don't happen in a vacuum, and it is the people around us who contribute to our lives that really make us who we are in many ways. And I believe it's important to recognize them. That can be done one-on-one, either in real life, in a message. That can be done publicly if you want to give a shout out to somebody. But it's all about acknowledging that your success is in part by another person's actions. And that completes level 3. The benefits of that are greater social impact, leadership, which you can apply to any area of your life, as well as the potential of a higher amount of income. Once you have closed shop for the day, and you have accomplished each one of the activities within a specific level, then at the bottom of the form, simply just tap 1, 2, or 3 and hit submit. Of course, filling in your name and the kind of gap that you are working to narrow. And once you hit submit, then that's going to send you to a screen where you can view everybody's responses, and we can actually see how the rest of the team is doing in a nice little pie chart and bar graph, and we can see what are the gaps other people are working on as well. So that's a brief overview of our gap, and when you engage in level 1 training, level 2 training, level 3 training, I will be sharing some specific techniques about how to accomplish these in the most efficient and effective way. But in the meantime, feel free to jump in with whatever activities you already know how to do. Who are very successful are those who take initiative, and they do it, they figure it out. Sometimes they they go ahead before learning how to do it, and that's fine. So I encourage you to engage with this and start to track your own progress as you are growing yourself in a 3-dimensional way into the person that you dream that you can be. Thanks.